Well, it's that time of year for the 2023 Woodworking Secret Santa Exchange. We're working with these great woodworkers this year, making some awesome projects. There'll be links in the description for all of the projects that we make and receiving these projects. And this year, something creepy happened. I ended up, for the second year in a row, getting McMath Woodworks as the person I'm making my project for. Scary if you ask me. I think he rigged it. So we talked about making bottle openers, we talked about making nutcrackers, and then we all kind of settled on making a YouTube button. Now, I decided I'm going to take on the challenge. I'm going to do all three in one. Yup. So, here we go. Here we are in Vectric software for my CNC machine, and I did kind of a rendering of what I want this to look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of quarter sawn oak and basically carve out a YouTube button, fill it with some epoxy, put McMath Woodworks on there and the year, and on the back side of this will be a good surprise. But here's the front part, and then here we see the back where I'm carving a deep hole and big enough to fit a walnut into so that we can crush walnuts or whatever kind of nuts you want to crush. So the first thing is to get the dowel ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a threaded dowel, but in order to do that with an oak dowel, you need to soften it up. So I'm taking some mineral oil, white mineral oil, and I'm going to fill up this cup here, and then I'm going to take that little dowel, drop it in there, and tighten it up, set it off to the side. And how long do we set it off to the side? Well, I let it sit for 10 whole days. And after 10 days, popped it open. It was nice and soaked up all that mineral oil as much as it could. Got rid of some of the air in there, reused that mineral oil. And let's jump over to carving out this quarter sawn oak, making those pockets. This is a Onefinity CNC machine. I love my machine. And we're carving out the pockets and carving out the letters and the numbers that will all get filled with epoxy. But before doing that, one of my little tricks is I like to take a little bit of polyurethane, and just fill in so that the epoxy doesn't get soaked up into the grain of the wood. Once that's dry, I just start filling with epoxy. I don't overfill, I just fill it up close to the rim. And same thing with the letters. I try to fill it with these little syringes so it gets in there nice. Fills in those little voids really well. I'm going to pop some of the air bubbles that come up with the epoxy. After letting it dry for a few days, I'm just going to run it through the planer, plane off some of that excess epoxy. There you have it. It is ready to continue work. Now we're going to work on the back. And now I'm creating that pocket where we're going to drop the walnut in to be crushed. And I'm using a hog bit here from IDC Woodcraft. And right here, you're about to see a mistake. The bit just decided that it was going to fall right out of the collet. It just dropped right out. Luckily, it did not ruin my project, but it scared me for a minute. And the crazy thing, it didn't have any damage on the bit at all. It is just perfect. It just fell right out of the collet. And it's a new collet too, so I don't know. But take two. Let's do this again. It's going to air carve for a little bit here on what was already done. And just do that last little bit. And then after this, I'm just going to have a little cleanup path with a different 1/4 inch bit, because that hog bit leaves a rough edge. So this cleaned it up nice. And let's look at that damage. See, it went all the way through the wood to the epoxy, but did not go through the epoxy. I'll show you the other side here. It did not go through. And you can see walnut fits right in there, no problem. And that's kind of a smaller walnut, but any walnut will fit in there, no problem. All right, I'm going to chop it down to the correct size. Now, let's go ahead and work on the wood screw. I'm taking some of my cutting board conditioner, it's just wax, and I'm putting it on this. This is a Tay-Tool wood tap and die set. I'm just going to put some wax on there to make this a little easier. I'm just put it on that dowel and start spinning, and it's cutting the threads as it turns. It's got a little blade in there, and if I had not soaked this thing in mineral oil, this would have been a nightmare because it would have just chipped out that oak. But this oak was nice and soft. It worked great. So, little tip, always soak your dowels before you do the tap and die set on them. But I'll show you how clean it looks here. I mean, that is a really good job. I'll leave a link in the description for that tap and die set. Now, into the block, I need to drill a hole, and I'm going to go ahead and tap that out in a second here. Yep, I'm using this tap that came with that kit, and it's tapping all the way down to that hole that I had made on the CNC machine to hold the walnut. So you can see there, it went all the way through. And then while I'm at it, I'm just going on the other side. I'm going to put the bottle opener on there. Just quickly put a little recess in there for it. I'm not going to install it yet, just making sure it fits. So it's a good tight fit. Sand it down quickly, lots of grits. Now, oops, don't do what I did. Keep your fingers away from the blade, people. That was stupid. Okay, now that that's over, let's see how this goes. And I screwed up. You know, when you tap into some wood and then you cut out 1/8 of an inch of it, it's not going to screw down correctly. When I cut that with the saw, it left this gap. So how do I fix that? Well, I'm going to take, I drilled 2 little holes right there. I'm going to take these little cabinet door bumpers, drawer bumpers, whatever you want to call them. They're just little rubber bumpers. And I'm going to go ahead and super glue those in. And once they're super glued in, it should be no problem for this to spin, and those will be a nice little stop, little gap filler, and it did the job. So note to self, if you're ever gonna use a tap and die set on a piece of wood, do not cut through it because it won't line up. All right, now I'm just gonna glue and super glue this screw right into this crank here. And now it's time to finish everything. I'm just gonna use some white mineral oil, finish the whole thing nice. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and screw this bottle cap opener to the side there. Let me show you how it works. Just a quick spin, and a little inertia just spins it closed. Works great. Now let's show you how it crushes a walnut. You know, because I can't do this and not show you how it crushes a walnut. Here we go. Let's get this walnut crushed. Watch how simple this is. You just start turning and hit that crank. Crunch. There goes the walnut. Perfect. Fun little project. This one, I had a lot of fun making this project. It was fun trying to be imaginative to come up with it, but there you have it.
Oh, sorry, Santa. Didn't see you come in. I wasn't eating your cookies. Honest. Wasn't. Oh, this? Oh, so, the gift exchange. This is for Hugh over at McMath Woodworks. We talked about for our exchange making the YouTube button, so I made a YouTube button. We talked about making a bottle opener, so I made a bottle opener. And we talked about making a nutcracker. Well, I made one of those too. There it is, all set and done. All that's left to do is mail it. Hopefully Hugh likes it over at McMath Woodworks. Check him out. There's a link in the description for everybody. Yeah, it was a fun project to make, but now I can't wait to see what I got. You know what? Let's not wait. Santa, do your magic. Oh, there it is. Where'd the cookies go? Santa, Rudolph. Whatever. Okay, so got this in the mail today, and this is from the Weekend Wood Shop. Well, let's open it up and see what we got. Oh, I'm excited. I love presents. Paper. More paper. Oh, here it is. What else we got in here? More paper. More paper. Box. All right. Let's open this bad boy up. You know it's a woodworker when it's got painter's tape holding it closed. Love it. All right. Nice and easy. Yes, I was that kid that opened all their stuff very carefully at Christmas. That was me. No, it wasn't. I tore into them like bananas. All right. Let's check this out. Oh, presented to 2 Elm Builds for the 2023 Woodworking YouTuber Secret Santa. Check that out. Beautiful piece of cedar, handcrafted with pride. The Weekend Woodshop. I love this. This is awesome. Look at that. I think that is in, it's like some sort of maple, maybe? Maple ply, and then right on cedar. This is beautiful work. I love it. Thank you very much. What a great job. Love it. It's got my logo on there and everything. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Let's go hang it up. And eat a cookie. Right there. For everyone to see when I'm making my videos, it'll be in the background. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What a great job. Merry Christmas and go be great.